welcome to the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show. Not a lot of people saw it coming, some did. LSU with a huge upset, a huge victory, 36 to 16 over the Georgia Bulldogs at a packed Tiger Stadium on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Buddy, a lot of things went right for LSU.
Unbelievable Saturday afternoon, TK. I guess you could say that we did not know how good Georgia was coming into this game. We didn't really know how good LSU was. When you look at Miami, they've been okay since the opening game. Auburn lost again to Tennessee. Lo and behold, big game. Let's give a lot of credit. Steve Ensminger, Dave Aranda, Coach O, Greg McMahon, all of those guys, and Joe Burrow, TK. I think, once again, the difference between a guy who makes a lot of plays, he's a leader, he's tough, he took a lot of hits, made some good throws, made some bad ones, but once again, a special afternoon. This has big ramifications for recruiting, big ramifications for LSU back in the top 10. And look, I'll watch this replay a couple times again.
Yeah, no question about it. Joe Burrow's now 6-1. What a win for LSU. They got to feel good about this. I say upset. Some people say no, they thought LSU was going to win. But when you're a 7.5-point dog to the number 2 team in the country, I think it falls in the category of upset.
Absolutely. It was an upset. And, you know, interesting thing, Kirby Smart was at LSU one year, and he's seen the tape with the Matt Flynn to Colt David on the fake field goal for a touchdown. That, to me, was a big play. LSU dominated the first half, held on, and then put some extra mustard on the hot dog. What an incredible win. Tiger fans, you got to be happy all across the good old U.S. of A. And Georgia, thanks for coming in and spending all your money, but they were a little arrogant, a little overconfident, and I think Kirby Smart got caught up with himself because he got away from the run game in the first half, TK.
I think you got to give a lot of credit. Both sides of the ball, LSU special teams had kickoff when LSU recovered the fumble on the kickoff. The kicker, Akers, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean that's hustling down there and getting the ball. I mean that was. I just think use the cliche. It was a team effort, offense, defense, coaching staff, offense, defense, special teams. I mean that's how you beat the number 2 team. Takes a total team effort, total coaching staff, and all of the fans. The campus was as crowded as it's been in a very, very long time. And LSU, Ed Orgeron, now 7-0 after a loss straight up. They've still yet to lose a home game in September, going back several years. Mississippi State next week.
That's all right.
In October. Okay. Mississippi State next week, but they need to enjoy this upset of the Georgia Bulldogs today. We're going to get right to the phone lines. Bill's in Gonzales. Bill, you're on the postgame show.
All right, Tommy, buddy. Hey, buddy, you stole my thunder a little bit because, gee whiz, the way Georgia started the game running, I thought the way it turned out, Kirby didn't live up to his name. He wasn't very smart.
Well, let's give David Aranda a lot of credit. He did a lot more defensively, and I know a lot of the former players will break it down and do a great job with the X's and O's. But look, Bill, it was the perfect storm.
We got to win.
It was the perfect storm today.
Oh, yeah, we got to win. It's a good one because Georgia's a good team, and I still just wish we wouldn't rely on the field goal so much, but oh, yeah, I'm ecstatic, guys, believe me.
Bill, you can rely on the field goals when the defense played like it did today.
And, Bill, let's give Coach O a major props here. He had a little Les Miles in him today, going for it on 4th down. You know, I think it was the end of the first quarter, and I thought that they were going to let the clock run out and conjure up a good play. They snapped it quick. Allaire breaks up right up to the middle. They converted that. What was it, TK, on 4th down? Was it 5 for 5 or something like that?
We'll pull that up.
Pretty incredible, Bill.
It was close. Yeah.
Hey, I missed the coach's show. Did you call this week?
No, I did. I've been the last 3 weeks. I've been on hold there, and for some reason they're not taking my call. And I wish they ran a better system on the coach's show.
Well, you keep doing that, but it's
Bill,
good luck.
we appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill.
I looked it up. 4 for 4 on 4th down. Okay. Let's go to Frank. You're on the postgame show.
Hey, Frank, come on, baby.
Hey, y'all doing?
Come on, baby. Got to have your winning game on now. What you doing?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. How y'all doing?
Well, we're doing great. What do you have to say after this one, Frank?
I think it was a hell of a game. They improved a lot on everything, except they still got a little problem with their tackling. And that's been going on, for 3 weeks now?
Yeah.
They improved a little bit on it, but they still they're still a little loud. I think the coordinator's got to show them how to wrap people up.
Well, Coach Cordelli mentioned it, TK. You've got to get your pad down low. And let's give Evander Holyfield's son, Elijah, a lot of credit. He ran hard, and he was exploding into people. Poor John Battle, he got run over 2 or 3 times. He came up with an INT. Kristen Fulton with an INT. Atkins, so that must have been a +3 in the turnover ratio today. You look at that, 4 for 4 on first down. Hey, if you want to look at one thing and be constructive criticism, that's your prerogative. But I think at this point, you got to talk about all the good things that LSU did today, Tommy.
They improved on everything except, I'd give them a B+ on everything. They just ain't hit the A yet.
Damn, I'm glad you're not my big
Yeah,
teacher.
really, Frank. I couldn't get out of school with you. Hey, Frank, by the way, turnover margin +4. Georgia turned it over 4 times. LSU did not turn it over. LSU about a 3.5-minute edge on the, 7-minute edge on time of possession. So we'll get into all the stats a little bit later. We want to get to the text messages and the callers. What else you got, Frank?
That's about it. Y'all go ahead and talk to somebody else.
All right, thank you, Frank. Real quick text message. I didn't expect the team to exhibit this type of play after last week's loss. I was proven wrong gladly. The Burrow Show, Tigers win. Nice compliment to Joe Burrow. Here's another text message. Biggest win in how many years so you can take your sunglasses off?
Yeah, I wasn't going to wear the sunglasses even if they lost. I do that for the first game, but, and I'm not even going to call Gary Danielson Richard Danielson this week because
Why can't he say Ensminger's name right? 2 weeks, he can't get it right.
He can't say that, and everything was slanted against LSU. I thought he got a little more fair in the second half. But look, reviews, turnovers, 4 for 4 on fourth down. I want to say that the coaching staff and the players did not lay on this thing. They kept the pedal to the metal, and this is what everybody's been calling for, TK.
Well, and here's the other thing. With James and Lafayette, you're going to be up next when we get to you, but I want to say this. I always tend to be the one to bring this up. Georgia's a hell of a football team.
They are.
They won the SEC last year. They were in the national championship game last year. They were 6-0 coming in here. They were ranked number 2, and LSU manhandled them.
LSU wins by 20.
We Georgia's still a good football team. LSU just beat their butts today.
Hell of a statement.
Let's go to James in Lafayette. James, you're on the postgame show from Lafayette.
What a game, huh?
Coach, you got to be happy.
Man, we dominated. We dominated that football game.
But this is everything you've been asking for, James.
By the time we got to say it again.
This was pretty much everything you were asking for.
Everything. By the time it got to the middle of the second quarter, Georgia's offense was done. They had quit moving the football. I was a little worried about the first quarter. It looked like our scheme was good. We were playing back. That Georgia quarterback can throw the ball. We were playing back. And by the time it got to the second quarter, we shut that off. We shut their pass offense off altogether. It was good.
No, it was 60 minutes of good football for LSU.
Without a doubt, James and TK, first game where they played from the get-go and kept the pedal to the metal. Aranda mixed up his coverages. They blitzed. They wanted to get pressure on Fromm. Glenn Logan with his first sack of the year. Devin White, I tell you what, he might need to eat 10,000 calories because he burned about 10,000 blitzing so much, James. And look, you from a coach's eyes, what did you see the kind of things that Aranda, Ensminger, and Coach O did that you were impressed with today?
Well, just like a mixing up. We kept them off balance in every which way. I'm talking about offense and defense. When we ran the ball, it was sort of unexpected. It was at a time when you really didn't think, and they never knew what we were going to do offensively or defensively on the blitz. I think that's just keeping them off balance. I really only had 2 words, and I said these 2 words. I watched it with a few guys. Here are the I thought the 2 key words. Tiger Stadium. This team, we've been playing good football against good football teams all year long. This was the first time we come home to play a good football team. Now you go see what we can do at our best at home. And we're not a young rookie team anymore. We've gained confidence. A lot of that has to do with Burrow, I think. With the coaching is just great this year. The coaching is so much better this year, offensively and defensively. So much better. The confidence level, I knew coming home we were going to play a good football game. I didn't think we'd win 36-16, but I knew we were going to play a good football game. Now, take care of business next week. And some people were, they worried about the rankings already.
Forget all that. Let that work take care of itself.
Enjoy this.
Yeah. Hey, James, Jason Hines was a big factor today.
And you know who we got coming after that? The rankings will take care of themselves. You know, that one loss to Florida, that could just be thrown out. I mean, we can take care of it. It's all on us now. We can do what we need to do. Nobody else. We control our own destiny. And you know what? This is a good football team. All right, I'm going to let it go at that.
Thank you, James.
All right, we're going to have to get to a break, then we're going to get to Barry and Baton Rouge. Before we go to break, we want to say rest in peace, Jimmy Taylor. Passed away this morning at the age of 83. Baton Rouge High, LSU, Green Bay Packers, NFL Hall of Fame. There's not any Hall of Fames that don't have him in there. Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame on down. Passed away at the age of 83. One of the all-time NFL greats, Baton Rouge guy. Prayers to his family and friends and teammates, and I learned of that this morning. And you know, I've had him on TV a few years back, a couple of times actually, and he's an all-time great. Someone who lived the rest of his life in Baton Rouge after his pro football career and was active. He saw him last year out at the Red Stick Bowl, out at Olympia Stadium in the annual U.S. Army Red Stick Bowl. He was out there to talk to the kids and just be a person that he was. So rest in peace, Jimmy Taylor. We're back after this pause.
Hubby, can't wait for tonight. Where are we meeting?
Tonight? Date night? Oh. Find sushi restaurant.
Let's try wasabi sushi.
Route to sushi.
The destination is on your left.
Play our song.
Pioneer in-dash systems with Apple CarPlay. Get yours installed today at your local Mesa retailer.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com.
Continue with the Pelican Sports post-game show. Huge win for those LSU Tigers, 36-16. Want to say hello to everybody over at Scoreboards on Coursey Boulevard. They've got us up on some of the TV screens, games everywhere else, balls, snow crabs tonight. After the game party, go have some fun at Scoreboards, right next to Anton's Fine Jewelers on Coursey. You don't necessarily want to go to look at Buddy and I, but go in there and have some fun. They got it all going on, the bald snow crabs. Tomorrow, all-you-can-eat barbecue starting at 11 a.m. Chicken, sausage, ribs, potato salad, beans. 11 o'clock on, kids half price. Kids under 5 eat free. All-you-can-eat barbecue tomorrow at Scoreboards on Coursey next to Anton's Fine Jewelers. Go check it out and get in there for a big LSU victory party. Back to the phone lines we go. Barry's in Baton Rouge. Barry, you're on the postgame show.
Hey, guys. Good to hear you.
Barry, where have you been?
Wow, this is a blast from the past.
Yeah. Hey, look, my third granddaughter was born this week, so I knew it was going to be good. I just need one born before the Alabama week, evidently. But
well, good to hear from you, Barry.
Thank you. Yeah, good to hear you. I know Jacoby Stevens' dad pretty good. He had a really big sack there when it was 19-9, his son Jacoby, so happy for him. I thought early in the game, I mean, Georgia ran it right down their throats, and then they tried a fake field goal, and, you know, for whatever reason, and that was botched. But forget all that. LSU made them pay by going down and scoring 7 points. So there's a 10-point swing right there, and that was kind of your ball game. I get a little tired, like a lot of people, about hearing about LSU's coordinators being the highest paid every year, and then you go to the Texas Bowl. Hey, but not today. I'm ready to eat crow today.
Is this
Singer, great game. I love the tempo. The wide receivers were great, and Dave Aranda, the little mad scientist, which I really don't say many bad things about him, he was fantastic. After getting the ball stuffed down their throats on that first drive, lights out after that, baby.
Is this the biggest win in Tiger Stadium since they beat #1 Florida back in the late 90s, 97?
Man, I'd have to think about that.
I think it's the biggest in Tiger Stadium. The win in Tuscaloosa in 2011 was pretty big, but I'm talking about Tiger Stadium.
In Tiger Stadium,
yeah, they beat Carolina. They beat Carolina was number 3. And Georgia was 2.
Florida was 1 when they beat them back with Herb Tyler.
So from a ranking standpoint, there's no doubt about it.
And the stadium was packed. And it was
Barry,
loud.
Aranda's the highest paid defensive coordinator, but Ensminger's only making $800,000. And you'd think Gary Danielson would learn how to say his name by now.
That is embarrassing.
But they kind of irritated the heck out of me, but I'm going to take it easy on them. But, Barry, I agree with your comments 100% because, look, this is what LSU fans have been looking for and wanting for. They'll play a great half and then, like Miami, 33-3, and then back off, and you never could understand. They were down 11 to Auburn and put it in throttle. But for 60 minutes, I know Coach O. And so LSU didn't turn it over, right, TK?
That's correct.
So they're +4 in the turnover ratio. They're 4 for 4 on 4th downs. And speaking of Jacoby Stevens, Barry, it's been tough because I've been asking why he hadn't been playing a bunch more, and John Battle and other guys back there, but it was great to see him get that sack.
Yeah, you know, again, just a brief personal note. I know his dad real well, and it was great to see him make that play, and I'd like to see him on the field a lot more. A lot of guys talk about, hey, offense, defense, special teams, and then you kind of disregard the special teams. But I mean, today I think Coach Tracy was responsible for 17 or 18 points.
Right.
I mean, it's just big. It's great to see punters, guys who can kick it out of the end zone. Ogeron, 4 for 4, I think, today on 4th down. Burrow, obviously, the legend continues there. And, Buddy, you made a great point. Right before, I think most teams would have let that clock expire at the end of the first quarter, but LSU ran and that's what I was talking about, the tempo, and 22 busted off for 57 yards. That was obviously just a huge play.
You know what happened there? Actually, we gave them some Manda spicy sausage and TK. I thought they were going to let it run out, and the next thing you know, I'm sitting there going, let it run out, and you got a couple minutes to discuss the play. They snapped it quick. Allaire broke in, and look, it was a rush just like you get when you're eating that Manda sausage and that Buddha, and once again, we couldn't do it without those people. Now I got to do barbecue every time there's a big game, Barry.
There's a big one next week.
Sorry, TK.
You got a lot of guys. I'm going to say this. I've seen Michael Brooks. I've seen him out, but I've been watching LSU for 40 years now. Devin White is in on more plays than any LSU defender I can ever remember.
And there have been some good ones.
And there's been some good ones, but he is right there in the talk. And I think he's the best that I've seen.
And the other thing he does better, he's a leader on this team. He's a leader in the huddle. He's a leader on the sideline. He's a leader probably in the meeting room. He's a leader on the practice field. And you can't put value on that. Plus, you add in the fact that he can play and will play on Sundays. That's a positive.
I think LSU. I'm pretty sure I can say this: is LSU is going to be the only team in America this year that's going to play the number 1 and number 2 teams, right?
Yeah, I think we looked at that.
Yeah, well.
And
I think so, yeah.
5 or 8 when they played them.
Well, especially now that Georgia lost.
Yeah, now that Georgia lost.
Now that Georgia lost.
I'm talking about when they play them.
Yeah,
talking about when they play them.
But look, all of that's irrelevant. You got to go one game at a time and let the polls and all that stuff take care of themselves. But, hey, it's a big one, and I don't think there's really anything that people can gripe about this one when you look and the smoke clears and you read your advocate or you go on your social media. To win by 20 against the number 2 team in the country, like TK said earlier, that is one big, big win, and I know Coach O and them will enjoy it as well deserved.
They deserve it.
Just on a personal note, it is without doubt the most fun I've had watching a game since 2011. There's no doubt. Okay, good talking to you guys.
All right, a couple of text messages. One, this is important. This is looking ahead. Tigers cannot overlook Mississippi State next week. The CBS announcers were talking about the Alabama game. Whoa, timeout. They got a very important game. It's homecoming for LSU. A lot of people will be back in town for that. It's a 6 o'clock kick in Tiger Stadium. Fans need to respond like they responded today. Fill that campus up, fill that stadium up, and cheer for this football team. That would be a really good thing. Next text message, I'm eating Manda sausage right now. That's a good thing. Here's LSU plays turnover free, which is a winning formula on the text message line.
Yeah, +4 today in the turnover ratio. And let's be honest, I know a lot of people are going to say Kirby Smart got a little cute, abandoned the run game a little bit and tried to fake field goal. Well, he didn't have anything to put on the board, but let's give Aranda with his disguising and changing defenses. I'll tell you another thing that I think is a big, big part of it. And you got a future star in number 57. Once they took Adrian McGee out at left guard and you put Chasen Hines in, and he would have been starting, but he got banged up a couple weeks ago. TK, he is a mauler, and you lost Ed Ingram. Now, this is 3 years in a row. You've started true freshman on the offensive line. That's going to build. And let's be honest, Georgia's got a hell of a running attack, and other than some big runs, they did a pretty good job. But, man, I got people texting me at the stadium just talking about the differential between Georgia's offensive line, huge, against LSU's defensive line. Let's give that D-line credit and that defense credit.
Ed Ingram was in the stadium today, obviously not on the sideline. Chasen Hines, though, that should be a lesson for all you high schoolers out there, little leaguers or whatever. You make yourself be ready, okay? And when your name gets called, you be ready to go physically and mentally when they get that opportunity to put you in the game and see what you can do. Chasen Hines is a poster child for that right now because he might not come off that field for several years because he was ready when his name was called. That's a lesson for all you guys that aren't in the starting lineup and you wish you were starting and you're working hard. Keep working. Be ready when your name's called. We'll take a break, come back with your phone calls, your text messages. Lines are jumping. Tigers win 36-16. Big party at Scoreboards on Coursey Boulevard. It's already going on. They've got us on the TV. You know it's a party over there. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
The Acord Eye Clinic has moved to a new office, just minutes from the old office at 8280 YMCA Plaza Drive, Building 9. Dr. Shonda Acord and her staff welcome patients of all ages, including children and adults. They have a wide variety of frames and sunglasses, including Maui Jim. The Acord Eye Clinic features modern instruments and state-of-the-art technology, including digital retinal scanning with Optomap, hard-to-fit contact lenses, as well as professional care and service. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. Call for an appointment, 225-767-EYES, and visit the website, visionsource-br.com. The Acord Eye Clinic looks forward to seeing you.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Continue with the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Christ-San with you. Appreciate you checking us out. Don't forget TV replays in the morning, 9 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. back-to-back airings. And big party tonight at Scoreboards on Coursey Boulevard, 10655 right next to Anton's Fine Jewelers, a little bit to the east of Airline and Corsi. And tomorrow, all-you-can-eat barbecue, chicken, sausage, ribs, potato salad, beans, half price for kids 12 and under, kids 5 and under eat free. It's going to be there all day. Saints have an open date, but they'll have ball games on, golf, baseball, whatever. Get on over to Scoreboards. A great way to stay in touch. Connect with Scoreboards on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They got events posted. They got all kind of stuff over there. Buddy, here's a text message. If the defense plays like this every week, I truly believe we can run the table. Go Tigers. That's a text message.
A little jumping to conclusions there. Obviously, look, that's the tough thing when you're in the SEC West. You got a tough matchup every week. Look, you enjoy this one. If they're going to run the table, then obviously they're going to be highly ranked and then be in the CFP.
Well, if they run the table, they'll be in the play and win in Atlanta.
Because they do control their own destiny.
Yeah, if they win out, they're in Atlanta.
But I think it's just a little early to be jumping. Let's go and see.
I think you go back to the text message. You worry about Mississippi State now. They beat you by 30 last year.
Yeah, tough matchup.
Okay, last year, but you still cannot be looking at nothing but Mississippi State come next Saturday.
Well, but here's the thing where LSU improved. They had 3 turnovers last week, and they didn't have any this week. They had a +4 in the turnover ratio. I know Coach Mo. By the way, I'm looking at some of the Twitter feeds on what Coach O was saying during the post-game press conference, and he said basically he was upset with himself that he didn't go for it on 4th down. And lo and behold, one short of the special night when Jacob Hester and Les Miles and LSU went 5 for 5. Defeating the Florida Gators 2007. That's 11 years ago. TK, a lot of parallel with the South Carolina game. That happened 5 years ago in 13 when they were number 3. One of the things that people talked about is that Georgia had not really played a tough schedule, and we know that they got a little flustered today. Jake Fromm, you got to give him credit. LSU's defense, other than tackling, still a little too high, but let's give Holyfield and Swift and some of those Georgia skill people some credit there. But look, I'll be honest with you. The biggest surprise for me in this game was the way LSU ran the football. We'll pull up the stats.
I was just going to get to that. You ready?
See, how many? They had to have 200 yards rushing today.
They
LSU
had 275 rushing, 200 passing.
Holy cow.
For 475, picked up 20 first downs, 6 of 19 on 3rd down. That's sporty. You could like a little better. 4 for 4 on 4th down, as we mentioned. Burrow, 15 out of 30, no picks. Rushing attempts, they carried it 51 times for 275. That averaged over 5 yards per carry.
Leading rusher, Hilaire?
I'll pull that up in a minute. This is one that Coach O is going to like. 2 penalties for 19 yards.
Very, very under control today. We talked about it with Coach Pete on Friday when we were at Sullivan's, TK. How do you get your guys to lay it out on the line and play passionate and play with a lot of exuberance and yet not make the stupid penalty when they missed a couple calls on both ends? The penalty, look, the ones I remember, Sadiq Charles on a false start and Greedy on a pass interference. That's the only 2 I remember.
And both of those were penalties, as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
To answer your other question, and we'll get to the phone lines, 225-928-4910. Text message line 504-689-9246. As I said, Burrow 15 of 30 for 200 on the nose. Rushing, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 19 carries, $145.
Wow, big game.
Averaged over 7 yards per carry. Joe Burrow, 13 carries, 66 yards. Of course, he had the 59-yard run, so, but that's part of the stats. Nick Brissett, 16 for 64 yards. Let's see, receiving.
Is that Big Sal?
I don't know. Let me see here.
He's back at the stadium, so let's go to him. Is that, well?
No, we got, who we got on the line? I don't have a cue yet, so let's let till Marty tells me.
Okay.
And
call us if you're at the stadium. See us. I know
Justin Jefferson, 6 catches for 108.
Big.
Marshall, 2 for 43.
Big one early.
Chase, 2 catches, and a bunch of guys with 1 catch, including John Trey Kirkland. Hey, I got my glasses down here. That's a good spot for them.
Okay.
All right. Florida got all the breaks. Today, LSU got the breaks. A little to that.
They made those breaks.
If you only have 2 penalties, You don't turn the ball over. You dominate time of possession. You convert on 3rd and 4th down. You pile up 475. That's how you beat the #2 team in the country. Not just beat them, but beat them soundly.
You know, we have the full gamut here. You got some people saying, well, they didn't do that great. Frank giving them B pluses. I'm glad I didn't have Frank as a teacher.
Yeah, I'd have
never made. I'd have never made an A.
I'd still be in school.
But anyway, 928-4910. We do have a lot of people calling in, and certainly I know there's a lot of traffic. Look,
I bet there's a traffic jam, but that's a good problem to have, huh?
Yeah. Well, look, this is the game, and let's give Ed Ogeron some credit now. Last week, he looked like he got a little flustered as they panned to him on the sidelines. I thought he was under control, TK, and there was no hesitation on going for these things on 4th down. Now, they once again, you got Joe Burrow, who is, look, let's be honest, this guy is the best quarterback as far as the it factor, the poise, the leading of the team, and the gritty, the gritty. I mean, he could have run and laid down, and he tried to take it to the house. He got a bunch of late hits and hits. Hey, Joe Burrow, you're the man. Glad to have you in Tiger Town. I know everybody's happy.
All right, let's go to Chris in Lafayette. Chris, you're on the post-game show.
Chris, come on, babe. Chris.
Chris in Lafayette going once. Chris in Lafayette going twice.
All right,
guys.
Well, there
man?
he
Come
is.
on.
He almost got the ding
What are you
dang.
doing? Shooting some schnapps?
We just have the greatest team performance I've seen at LSU in a long time. I thought that Vincent on defense, number 3, played an excellent ball game. He really came up and did his job. What can you say? Negative, nothing. It's just a great performance. They timed it perfectly. The only scare was the last 7 seconds of the 3rd quarter when LSU had a 1st down. They throw, 4th quarter starts. They only run 16 seconds off, and I said, 4th down. I said, oh no. I said, no, we're not going to go through this again. But it worked out perfect. The only complaint I have is, and I know that Buddy's going to like this, Huey Long would not allow elephants on Saturday night when LSU was playing in Baton Rouge. I think that the legislature needs to pass where Gary Danielson is not allowed in Baton Rouge on Saturday nights. This guy is he's just anti-LSU. And like Buddy said, he got a little softer in the second half because he realized that LSU was putting a whooping on him.
He did.
Well, but it starts with the fact that for 2 straight weeks he did not pronounce Steve Ensminger's name correctly. It starts with that and goes from there, okay? Everybody makes a mistake and slips up once or twice. I've announced a lot of games. It happens. But to say the guy's name wrong all week last week and all week this week, it's inexcusable that he would do that.
Here's what I saw in the first half, Chris. He was not giving LSU any credit. Now, look, we watch these games. We know these players. We watch the replays. If you're heavily involved and you're passionate about it, you know the second team and third team guards and all that. But he made a comment, Georgia was sleepwalking when it was 10-0 and all this other stuff. Now, here's what I saw happen, Chris. Kirby Smart came in here as a cocky little banty rooster.
You got it, brother. You got it.
And the Georgia fan base came in here as a bunch of cocky Georgia dogs. Woof, woof, woof. Now, they come in here. I'm at Sullivan's last night, and all these people in the table tells the waiter, and he comes and tells me, yeah, the guy just said they're going to kick LSU's butt, and it's not going to be close. And you know what? I went and gave the message to the guy, 40-17. You know what that was, Chris?
That was close.
40-17 was the score. They got beat at Auburn last year. Now, give them credit. They beat Auburn in the championship game. But Kirby Smart is going to say in the postgame, TK, I probably shouldn't have tried the fake field goal. He got away from the run. But Danielson and Bradley Dale, or whatever his name is, I know how to say to him, Richard Danielson. Let's refer to him as Richard Danielson.
There you go.
Kids, if you ask your daddy what the nickname for Richard is, he'll tell you. And that's what the guy's been.
if you watch the halftime when he spoke to the lady commentator there, and everything was short and snappy, a la Nick Saban type stuff, and I said, he's a jerk. And as far as Saban and his cream puff team, they ain't played a damn team yet this year.
No, but they good. And look, you got to go one game at a time.
But why not?
But look, Georgia had a false sense of security because they went to Columbia, Missouri, and Columbia, South Carolina. And I'm not saying that because Georgia had a lot of fans. Let's give them credit. They traveled and they came in here in the thousands. And I don't know if it's 15 or 20,000 or whatever. They took over Notre Dame Stadium. And that's why, Chris, I thought it was imperative LSU get ahead in this game and keep their game ahead. But Richard Danielson and Bradley Dale Nessler, if they don't ever say, now they will have the LSU-Alabama game because we all know it's going to be at night at 7 o'clock. But I'm telling you, that guy, I can't tell you the number of times I said the same thing, and the initials are FU.
Hey, you're great tonight, man. You're on a roll. I mean, I just can't take any more of it.
I'm just telling you what I was going through.
Hey, all we got to say is go Coach O. He did a great job.
He did. Thank you, my man.
Okay, good night, man.
All right, Chris.
And, buddy, I made this observation today. Coach O, the body language on the sideline is a whole lot better than it was last year.
Yeah.
And he looks poised. He looks under control. He looks, he's got the wheels turning, no question about that. He's listening. He's thinking. He's communicating to people there and upstairs. He looks a lot better on the sideline, and it could be going because of one of the text messages that we just got. Coach O trusts his coordinators, offense, defense, special teams. It's who he wants. He's comfortable with it. So he can deal with the other things a head coach deals with and not have to be wondering about, should I make an offensive suggestion? Should I make a defensive suggestion? Should I determine? He don't have to do that. He can be the head coach and manage the game like you're supposed to do during the game and let your coaches coach. And he's doing that to the T, and that bore fruit today.
Well, and we had a text message come in about getting the breaks, and it's such a small between good and great and winning and losing. So many of those fourth downs and spots and overturns and not overturned. And hey, Kristen Fulton with an incredible INT. John Battle got an INT. They made the plays. And look, I don't necessarily, and I think all the Tiger fan base says this, they don't want you to sit there and give glowing raves about LSU. Everybody knows that this team is still in a developmental stage and still needs to get better at the line of scrimmage. But they got whipped last week, but they won the battle today. And to rush and pile up 475, I don't care who's broadcasting the game, you have got to give LSU their due. And I think that's all the Tiger Nation wants to do. And they always do it with a glass half empty instead of half full, and I think people are just tired of it.
Steve Ensminger, I'll say his name correctly, deserves a lot of credit as well. All right, text message, then we're going to get to a break and then get to Brian Lazar. Hurry up offense, 4 for 4 and fourth down, only 2 penalties. That's a game plan that we have not seen. When's the last time we used hurry up offense? We got to get to a break. Brian Lazar is waiting for us at Tiger Stadium. We'll connect with Brian right after this pause on the Pelican Sports Postgame Show. Tigers whip the Bulldogs 36-16.
Taste the feeling.
remember what these trips were like before you put the screens in the back seats?
I don't want to think about it.
Are we there yet? I'm hungry. Where are we?
Go, go, go. That game should keep them occupied. Oh, yeah!
Dad!
Oh, in your face!
Don't make me get back there.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Live and play on your special day at Greystone. Create lasting memories in our newly remodeled reception hall at Greystone Country Club. For reservations and information, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show as we do each and every week. It's time to go to Tiger Stadium. Get a report from Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Brian, good evening. How are you?
Good. How y'all doing?
What did Coach O have to say after this game? I'm sure he was excited.
Yeah, and you know, he made a good point. He said, look, we're trying to build a championship program here. And he says we're not there yet. He hopes a performance like this tonight will give these guys confidence that they can play with just about anybody in the country. You know, they play like this, they can play with anybody in the country. And, you know, it was a complete effort. The offense, Clyde Edwards-Helaire rushes for nearly 150 yards. Joe Burrow has the 2 short touchdown runs where he's just so tough of a player. Has a 59-yard run. He passes for 200 yards, and he made so many big completions to Justin Jefferson, and then another one to Terrace Marshall early in the game. And then the defense. You know, it's almost like, remember against Louisiana Tech, the pass defense was so bad, and they bounced back against Ole Miss and played well. Well, this week, you know, it was on the run defense, and they were embarrassed, and they, you know, the coaches were harping on them about the run defense at practice this week, and they came out today. Now look, if you look at the numbers, you know, Holofield and Swift, they averaged about 6 or 7 yards a carry. But, you know, they stopped them when they had to and got a lead. And once they got a lead, a double-digit lead, it took Georgia out of the run game, and they had to, you know, throw the football, which is not this team's strength, and Fromm didn't have a great day. But, you know, offense good, defense good, special teams. You have Tracy kicking a school record tying 5 field goals. They stopped they were ready for the fake field goal. They recover a fumble on the kickoff. So just, you know, great day all the way around for LSU.
You know, guys, I think the reason that the whole state of Ohio and all the former players at Ohio State cared about Joe Burrow and followed his move and transition to LSU is he's a likable guy, and I think today, guys, this is going to be the benchmark where he makes a name for himself, but he does the little things like that run when Ensminger called him, and he didn't just slide. He wanted to take it to the house. He took a lot of shots. He made some throws. I think from a cerebral standpoint, TK and Brian, he brings something at quarterback that LSU has not had probably since Matt Flynn. Brian?
Yeah, you know, he's got, and again, I'll stay with this. You know, I said at the start of the year I anticipated that he was going to be a more talented, slightly more talented Danny Etling, and I think that's what he is. He's a little bit better than Danny Etling in all of the aspects of the game. And, you know, when Etling came here, he had more experience because he had started, you know, a number of games at Purdue. And I think Burrow will only get better the rest of this year and next year.
Hey, were you surprised that Hilaire and Brissett and, of course, Burrow with that almost 70 yards rushing, but were you surprised if we'd have told you before the game LSU would rush it for 275? That number just seems extremely big. I know Coach O's got to be real happy with James Craig, and they've been working their butts off. But I think as you and I were talking before and afterwards, I think Chasen Hines is going to be tough to get out of the lineup the way he performed. By the way, Brian, we didn't ask you this. I didn't see any injuries, and did we see Thaddeus Moss at all?
No, Moss was not dressed out.
He was ruled out.
He was
but
not.
D. Anderson did dress.
So, you know, I didn't even notice that. If he dressed out, I didn't notice.
But any injuries?
No, because I think, you know, Ed Alexander, who started today at nose tackle, he went out and came back in. And Battle went out and he came back in. So those are the only two guys that left the game. So I don't think anybody got hurt today.
What did Coach O say about the game Ensminger called? I mean, everybody's been asking for it, but Brian, they kept the pedal to the metal today. And I know Tiger fans are happy to see him play a full 60 minutes.
Yeah, Ed said that he was upset with himself for not going for it against Florida. Remember when he settled for a field goal on 4th and short? So he made the decision to be aggressive. And, you know, they just happened to have fourth and ones, which all, you know, it wasn't really a surprise. The only one I was surprised they went for was the one that he was on, I guess, their own 38. But they made all 4 of them, and, you know, it was just a very good performance. And now they have to, you know, everybody can't be, you know, I'm sure everybody's now thinking about the game against Alabama in 3 weeks, but they got to worry about, they got a good Mississippi State team coming in here next week, so you can't come with a bad outing against that team.
Brian, tell us all about TigerBait.com. Will Wade's basketball team had a nice crowd at an open practice earlier today over at the PMAC. You guys, I know, are covering it all. Give everybody all the latest on TigerBait.com.
Yeah, you see all the coverage, everything. You go to the site right now, www.tigerbait.com. Get involved in the chat. Everything's talking about the game, and everybody's all excited. We'll have, you know, interviews up, stories, analysis, grades tomorrow, and then, of course, Mike will have the latest recruiting and plenty of recruiting video.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Talk to you Tuesday.
Do appreciate Brian each and every week from Tiger Stadium when they're home and files a report with us. We do appreciate that. He and Mike do a great job with TigerBait.com. I know they both come on your radio show. Mike appears with us on Tigers Roar on Wednesday nights. By the way, we tape Tigers Roar out at Scoreboards now. Come by Wednesday evening and have some fun with us. 2 shows being taped on Tuesday. Sports Update with Kate at 12 noon. The Coach Roger Kadar show at 3 on Tuesday. Other things are planned. Going to have a steak night in the future. Going to have a sportscaster contest. Eventually this show will be there. But you got to crawl, then you walk, then you run. But that place is wide open, good to go. All-you-can-eat barbecue tomorrow starting at 11 a.m. Watch football, whatever you want to do. It's all at Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard next to Anton's Fine Jewelers. Connect on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They got events scheduled, the whole bit. Let's go back to the phone lines. He's been waiting. Pal from Baton Rouge. Pal, you're on the postgame show.
How you guys doing today?
Good to talk with you, pal.
I got a couple of 3 things that I want to talk about.
Fire away.
Number one, totally unexpected on this game. I thought we might have a shot, but certainly not the kind of dominance that we had in this game. And, my hat's off to Coach O and all the coaches and the players and everybody else. Y'all pretty much have talked all the details to death on that. Not much to go on or to say on that other than go Tigers. The second thing I want to talk about is in my old age, I have seen a lot of football games, and there's one guy that I saw in one game that was the greatest single individual performance I think I saw of any LSU football player in any game. That gentleman just died recently, and that was Jimmy Taylor. And the game that I saw him in was the Georgia Tech game in 1957. They played linebacker. He played fullback. He beat the hell out of Georgia Tech for 60 minutes. And he wound up getting National Player of the Year on that particular game. And my sympathies are with his family and with the LSU Nation. He's always been one of my favorite ball players of all time with LSU.
They won that game.
Another thing, he 9 years in the NFL, 4 world championships, never missed a game due to an injury.
That's right, and he is the guy that kept Brown from having about, I think, 9 or 10 years consecutive rushing titles. I think he slipped one in the middle there.
He is the one that broke it. That's correct. A Hall of Famer. Any Hall of Fame you can name, Jimmy Taylor's in it. Also quite the basketball player back in his day, too.
They won that game 20-13, pal, against Georgia Tech.
But anyway, that was all fantastic, and he was tremendous. The other thing I want to talk about is as much as I enjoyed this game, and as much as I'm going to enjoy it for the next few days, we got to be real careful we don't get trapped at Mississippi State.
Well, Mississippi State's going to come in here. They had an open date today. I'm sure they watched every snap, the coaching staff, their players. Mississippi State will be in here. It's homecoming for LSU. So they, like you said, they got to enjoy this and wake up tomorrow and get to work for the Mississippi State Bulldogs, who beat them by 30 last year up in Starkville.
Pal, you got to handle success, and it's going to be interesting to see. You know, you let these guys enjoy it for a day, and you tell them, look, guys, don't go out and do stupid things tonight. Some frat kid's going to be 12 beers in and going to try to punch you if you go out to the bar, so you hope that they use common sense.
They go to scoreboards, though.
Yeah, you can go to scoreboards and not have any problems. But, look, you got to handle the success, and that's one of the things I think Coach O's trying to build it. I don't think they're there yet, pal, because of the line of scrimmage, but – hey, well, Joe Burrow.
I don't know how close you want to get.
But, buddy, I think they're there after today.
Win it all, but I'll say this. We won this game today for, the other side of the coin for the same reasons that we lost the game last week. We fumbled around and stumbled around last week. This week, Georgia fumbled around and stumbled around. I'm not saying we didn't have something to do with it this week. I'm not saying Florida didn't have something to do with it last week. But if you go out there and you take care of your business and you don't have turnovers and you play hard, good things are going to happen for you.
All right, pal. Appreciate it.
All righty.
My buddy, I got a question for you before we go to break. Come back. You're joined by Ronnie Rance from Tiger Stadium. LSU has now beat 3 top 10 teams this year. Has that happened before? By October? Mid-October?
I don't think so. The only
by mid-October? I would say no.
No, but the only problem is that we know that early ratings. No, but listen, early ratings don't have the same kind of validity that later ratings. Now, Auburn.
But maybe LSU is the reason why those teams aren't as good as they were. Because LSU whipped them.
No, Auburn's already lost 3 games, and Miami has already had other than. But look, the
on paper, they've beaten 3 top 10 teams. We're in the middle of October.
At the time that they played them. And, hey, look, the big thing here that we haven't mentioned yet, this was a big, big, big game for recruiting. They had a ton of people there, most on them on unofficial visits. They had a big D lineman, I think from Utah, who was there on an official visit. I don't know how electric the crowd was because we couldn't tell on the
They said it was 85 to 90,000 people there, 20,000 from Georgia.
But still a hell of a venue.
Well, and buddy, you hit the nail on the head. recruiting is the lifeblood of any and all programs. I don't care which program you're talking about. And for LSU, but not anything else, I could tell recruits, hey, we've beaten 3 top 10 teams.
Yeah.
Recruits don't
know.
know.
No, I wasn't diminishing
No,
that.
I know. I'm just saying, and the win against Georgia, the #2 team in the country, soundly defeating them. The recruits that were there, the recruits that are going to be there, and then the kids who are already committed to LSU, you know, that they play a big role in recruiting. The kids who are already committed, they're telling the other guys who hadn't decided yet, hey, you know, look what's going on here. You know, get on down here. Hey, we got to take a break. 36-16, Tigers win.
What?
The kick next week is 6 p.m. Post-game show approximately 9:15. All the radio guys during the week, Jordy Hultberg, Buddy, myself, Dave Scandaliato, the whole regular bit. We'll have it all for you, getting you ready for Mississippi State. But let's enjoy Georgia, and let's go to Tiger Stadium for a report from Ronnie Rance. After this pause on the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show, stay with us.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
The Acord Eye Clinic has moved to a new office, just minutes from the old office at 8280 YMCA Plaza Drive, Building 9. Dr. Shonda Acord and her staff welcome patients of all ages, including children and adults. They have a wide variety of frames and sunglasses, including Maui Jim. The Acord Eye Clinic features modern instruments and state-of-the-art technology, including digital retinal scanning with Optomap, hard-to-fit contact lenses, as well as professional care and service. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. Call for an appointment, 225-767-EYES, and visit the website, visionsource-br.com. The Acord Eye Clinic looks forward to seeing you.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
We continue with the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show. Once again, we go to Tiger Stadium. Ronnie Rance of Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, and the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation, which has a special event coming up November 5. He'll tell you about that in a few minutes. Ronnie, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. That was a surprise, to say the least. I said this on CST after the game. I believe that it's, of all the top 5, top 10 wins in the country that LSU's had in that stadium over the years, this may be the most complete game they've played, the most dominant game, statistically, scoreboard, everything.
Yeah, I mean, offense, defense, special teams. What I liked, you know, when they kicked off and got the fumble down on wherever it was, the 50, the kicker got the ball. Akers recovered the ball. I mean, you know, he's not hanging back wanting to see what happens. He's down there getting the fumble out of the bottom of that pile. I thought that epitomized the whole night. LSU beat them every which way but loose.
They really did. And you know, if they scored 36 points and easily could have put 50, you know, on the board.
Well, 5 field goals.
Yeah, had they punched a couple of those 5 field goals into instead of touchdowns. This was a super dominant performance, and it's much like it's just so bizarre. You know, a year ago they lose to Troy, and we think the sky is falling and the season's over with, and then the next week they win a game in the swamp and they go on to have a really good year. Same kind of thing this year. You know, you lose a game, you think, you know, we got offensive line's got problems, the defense isn't as good as we thought, and then they go out against the number 2 team in the country and just absolutely dominate the game. It looks like the better team. So this was a huge win. This was I mean, you could feel it. The locker room was electric. The fans rushed the field first time since 2014 against Ole Miss there. So this was one of those magical games.
I think Joe Oliva will gladly pay that fine. They're going to get fined because they handed it to Kentucky a couple of weeks ago, so it's going to happen. But that'll be one. It would kind of be Ronnie. I don't know. Is statute of limitations up? Can I tell them y'all destroyed the locker room in Omaha in '91? So and they had to pay for that. So I'm sure they don't mind paying for this one.
Jumbo, the big thing that I took today.
You didn't know I'd go there, huh?
That was deep.
Yeah. Deep.
The big thing I took today, Jumbo, is after losing the line of scrimmage, the offensive line and defensive line, both losing those battles to Florida, it takes a lot of coaching, and let's give coaches and players credit to line up. We know the grind of the SEC, but to line it up and all the stats coming in, they were giving it up less than 300 a game, 14 points a game. They won the line of scrimmage. If you'd have told me beforehand they're going to run for 275 and throw for 200, I'd have said you're crazy. But I think they've got to feel good because they played toe-to-toe with Georgia. And even though Kirby Smart outsmarted himself, hey, you can't take anything because they kept the pedal to the metal, and that's what the fan base has been wanting to see, a full 60 minutes.
You know, I give Devin White a lot of credit. You know, last week you lose that game against Florida. It didn't go their way in the fourth quarter, and you know, he didn't hang his head. He wasn't sulking. He didn't let the sky is falling. He went in that locker room, and he told us on CST what he told the defense. He yelled at them, said, "Hey, keep your heads up. We're a good defense. You know, we got a lot of football left to be played." And I believe that his positive leadership and some of those other guys, it had a lot to do with why they turned this thing around. And it's like Rashawn Lawrence after the game and Greedy Williams, and both those guys said, hey, they took it personal. They all, as a defense, took it personal. They looked at film. They took, you know, they just took some positives out of that loss. They had a great week of practice. And, man, this is exactly what you want to see from your team if you're an LSU fan. You see the improvement. You see them get physical in the trenches and turn things around in 7 days. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
And against a damn good football team. This team won the SEC last year. This team was in the national championship. They were 6-0. They were ranked 2, and LSU manhandled them.
And I'm surprised. I'm a Jake Fromm fan. I really believe he's a heck of a quarterback, and I just think LSU was battle tested with their schedule, and Georgia wasn't. You know, LSU had the Miami, the Auburn, the Florida's on games, a neutral site on the road. Just looked like a team that was playing on the road in a hostile environment against a really good team for the first time. Georgia LSU's going to win a bunch of football games. But I guarantee you they're going to look back on this game, and that soft schedule did them in.
Jumbo, you said the locker room was electric. How much can now Coach O and his staff feed off of this with recruits? We all know they're trying to have a top 5 recruiting class this year. We know a ton of people were there. Could you see all the recruits that were on unofficial visits? And I think there was one official, but could you tell and how special all that was? And obviously Coach O will be on the phone tomorrow night really trying to get some early commitments. But this has got to be a big one for recruiting going forward, Ronnie.
Well, I mean, it has to be. I mean, by the way, those recruits are right in the middle of all that, rushing the field, right? They're down there either in the stands or on the sidelines getting ready to go into the locker room when the game's over. And so many of those guys, what's that got to be like? Come on a recruit trip, a team that you're considering. They dominate the number 2 team in the country. It's a national TV, electric atmosphere, and the crowd rushes the field. I mean, they got to pounce on that while they're on top. There were a bunch of recruits that went in the locker room after the game, I think more than normal, wanted to see what it was like in there. So I'm sure Coach O and them will take advantage of that opportunity.
Ronnie, I don't know if you're going to know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway because we just got it on a text message line. Was John Emery there, the running back from Destrehan, who's a Georgia commit? And maybe now he says, I got to go purple and gold? Do you know if John Emery was there?
I do not know. I didn't see him. I don't know about that. But, man, if you're ever going to flip, this would be one of the reasons why.
He was scheduled to be there.
Well, I mean, that's good work on the text message line there by somebody. So anyway, but Ronnie, I'm sure the locker room was fired up. And look, enjoy it. Wake up tomorrow. Do not overlook Mississippi State. They beat LSU by 30 last year.
They beat them by 30. They had the week off. This is the typical trap game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had the big day. By the way, he's a great interview, Baton Rouge guy, and just a sharp kid, and always gives you good stuff. And he talks about that. Hey, we got to make sure we go back to work on Monday, and we got a big one against State. We know they're going to be looming. And, hey, next week it's all about surviving in advance. Who cares the score? Who cares what they play like? Just win the game and then get your week off and get ready for Alabama.
Ronnie, Clyde Edwards-Helaire had one of the best lines in the history of Tigers Roar TV. We had him on Wednesday night of signing day back in February, and Jordy Hultberg asked him, said, you're not the tallest guy in the building. Do you think that's going to affect you at the next level? His answer on Tigers Roar live was, last time I looked, the holes aren't vertical. They're horizontal. I can get through them.
That is a great one.
Oh, that was him on signing day last year, right here on the station.
I saw that.
I remember that. He was on via phone. He was on via the phone right there. I said, this guy's going to be all right. Hey, Ronnie, tell us everything about Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, and then the special event on November 5 benefiting the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation.
Well, Sports Shorts TV, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night, so it comes on right after Tigers Roar, and then Sports Shorts Radio Saturday mornings on ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge, 104.5 FM. That's 10 to noon. And then the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame's got a great event coming up. David Toms, a golfer who's such a huge LSU football fan, he along with Bob Pettit, top 50 NBA player of all time, and I got the statue outside the practice facility at LSU. The two of them are going to join me at Metairie Country Club in New Orleans on Monday, November 5th for an evening with David Toms and Bob Pettit. It's a fundraiser for the Hall of Fame. Go get your tickets at lasportshall.com.
Thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate it as
Thank
always.
you, Jumbo.
All right, let's go to Steve in Paradise, Louisiana. Steve, thanks for holding. You're on the postgame show.
Hey, fellas, all I got to say is this. Wow. How about that victory in Tiger Stadium?
That's one word that describes it.
Yeah, well, how about this, y'all? In 1997, I was at the LSU-Florida game when they beat the #1 team in the nation. And the very next day, the Advocate in Baton Rouge on the front page had a big old giant spread of Tommy Banks pancaking into the end zone for a touchdown. And the headline was the greatest. So, you know what? There's been some big games in Tiger Stadium. And if they're going to label this game, it should be either the greatest part 2 or the greatest number 2. Because the significance of Tiger Stadium, this may be one of the biggest games of all time. especially with the situation that's going on with the LSU football team right now.
But you got to throw into the 2007 game when LSU. Now look, LSU was number 1 at the time, and Les was the coach, as we all know, and Florida was number 9. They won that game 28-24. But the parallel in that game, Steve-O, is that Les went 5 for 5 on 4th down. How about O going 4 for 4? And here's what I liked about it. There was no hesitation. That's what Tommy and I have been talking about tonight. When coaches and players learn lessons and get better from it, that's what fans want to see, a team getting better. TK said it again. I thought Coach O looked very focused, but he looked confident today. And he wasn't being overreactive. He looked confident. You could tell he told these guys, if you listen to us and play under control with passion, we're going to win that game. And I think it carried over because he is a lot more comfortable on the sidelines than he was last year.
And he's comfortable because he has total confidence in his staff.
Yes.
It's the guys he wanted, he wanted Ensminger. He wanted Aranda. He wanted McMahon. He's got them. And I'm not slighting any of the other coaches. All them guys are somebody he wanted, okay? And so, that has made a difference for Coach O, which in turn has made a positive difference for the entire operation.
It sure has. And you know what? I got to give an A+ to Coach Orgeron for the overall management of this football game. Of course, I've got to give an A+ to Dave Aranda for shutting down Georgia, who was a pretty potent offense. And then, of course, Coach Ensminger for coming up with just enough to keep this football team in it. And the parallel that you're talking about, buddy, with 2007 in Florida is LSU was number 1 at the time.
Yeah.
But in 1997, we were coming off a horrible decade of football, and that was a huge victory.
Hey, and if I remember right, they lost to Ole Miss after they beat Florida.
Sure did. And that's
I think they lost to Ole Miss the next week after they beat Florida in 97.
36-21.
In Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, 36-21.
So do not let Mississippi State do that this Saturday.
That's exactly why I was bringing that up, because they've got to be focused next week. Don't worry about Alabama coming in after a bye week.
Worry about Mississippi State, period. That is all.
That's exactly right. And you know what? I think this team is capable of pulling that kind of stuff off. You know what? Maybe perhaps losing to Florida last week was a good thing for this LSU football team. So they think they're living in a mirage of a 5-0 season. And I'm so proud of this football team. And go Tigers.
Thank you. Hey, Steve, and a shout-out to you. Steve did not give me a score because he said, I'm superstitious. I picked Georgia in the preseason. I don't want to hex the game. And, of course, we all know that today is the 13th of October. So, Steve-O, great call on your part for not calling that score in. And, look, I picked 33-29, and then I told TK the crystal ball started coming clear, and I thought they'd win by 3 late. But nobody had any idea that they would play 60 minutes from start to finish and win by 20 over a number 2 ranked team. Steve-O, we're talking here during the breaks. LSU's getting back in the 6, 7, 8 range again. And once
clearly
again,
top 10 because you got number 7 Washington got beat.
In reality is all this, guys, it doesn't matter where the AP or the coaches poll rank us. You've got to take care of business over the next couple weeks.
Week by week.
Everything works out from that point. Love the show, guys.
All right, Steve-O.
Enjoy this victory tonight. Go Tigers.
All right, enjoy it. In Paradise, Louisiana, a lot of people in Paradise, Louisiana this night.
Yeah, that's just, there's no, I don't think there's a town really named that. Steve's up at his little camp outside of the Vidalia, Faraday area. I've been there. It's an awesome place, and he enjoys it. All right, we're going to take our final break of the evening, come back, put a wrap on it, tell you what's happening out of school boards. Big party tonight after the game. I understand they got you on the big screen over there right now, the whole video wall.
Well, I hope
not. His buddy Sanji on the video wall.
I hope not.
But that's going to be off of there in about 8 or 9 minutes. So get on in there for the post-game party, and tomorrow the all-you-can-eat barbecue starting at 11 a.m. in the morning at School Boards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We'll come back, put a wrap on LSU's 36-16 win over the Georgia Bulldogs after this pause. Do stay with us.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
This is an important medical announcement for anyone who has taken the chemotherapy drug Taxotere. If you or a loved one has developed alopecia or hair loss after taking the breast cancer drug Taxotere, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. While many chemotherapy drugs can cause temporary hair loss, Taxotere can cause permanent, irreversible loss of hair on the head, eyebrows, eyelashes, beard, and body. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential and you may be eligible. You may not have been warned about the side effects of Taxotere. Your consultation is free. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one has experienced permanent hair loss as a result of the chemotherapy drug Taxotere. But you must call now.
Call 800-794-0738. 800-794-0738.
Continue with the Pelican Sports postgame show. Dawson Odom, Southern Jaguars up 31-0 fourth quarter. Back to LSU, 36-16, buddy. A convincing, dominating win. Offense, defense, special teams. The stat, only 2 penalties, no turnovers, collected 4 turnovers, sacked Georgia 3 times. A lot of other pressure was involved, and sometimes pressure just as good as a sack. If you force that incompletion or that throwaway, and then they got a punt, hey, that works, So, and one of the sacks was real big. It backed Georgia out of field goal position at one time. So, Clyde Edwards-Helaire at 145. Joe Burrow. It kind of, we want to give everybody credit, but here's a guy who just started playing real football games on September 2. and he's done a super job. No wonder he was at Ohio State. We talked about the fact that whether you like Urban Meyer or not, I don't, or you like Ohio State or not, they've got depth and talent. Joe Burrow has shown by coming down to LSU that he can play. He has engineered wins over 3 top 10 teams. He's 6-1 as a quarterback at LSU. With Mississippi State coming to town next week, LSU will be what, 8-9 point favorite in that one?
You know what?
You're pretty good about
Yeah,
this.
it's a little early on that. Maybe anywhere from 7. I'm going to go with 7 on that. But look, it's very easy for the fans to always say, I want to see him play more aggressive. I want to see him play more aggressive. And yet, if you sit in the kitchen sink and you give up a touchdown, then the fans gripe and complain. I thought LSU played aggressive but under control today. Great adjustments by Dave Aranda. I thought it was the best game that Steve Ensminger has called as the coordinator at LSU. All of the
and then the team executed it.
Executed it. They certainly tackled better. 2 penalties, that's showing a lot better of controlling your emotions and playing under control. And let's give the crowd credit. This was a big one, and they're going to savor this one for 24 hours. But can they handle success? And the way they played today in Tiger Stadium at 6 o'clock next Saturday night, I think it's going to be an electric crowd again.
Here's a text message, final one of the night. This team is learning to win. They just realized they can come back after a loss and beat one of the best teams in the country. Ed Orgeron is now 7-0. After losing a football game at LSU. Straight up, 7-0.
You mentioned that to the J-Man. Hey, let's give the J-Man credit. He on Wednesday he was starting to say the LSU. By the way, we give props to 2 legendary stars. Billy Cannon, of course, they lost last year. They have the tribute with the 20 on the helmet, and then Jimmy Taylor losing today.
Jerry Stovall's jersey retired at halftime today. That was great. Look, appreciate it. Mississippi State next week. We'll be here about 9:15. Want to thank Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com, Ronnie Rance, all the phone calls, the text messages. We appreciate that. Big party over at Scoreboards on Coursey Boulevard. And tomorrow it's all-you-can-eat barbecue starting at 11 a.m. Chicken, sausage, ribs, potato salad, beans. 12 and under, half-price. Kids under 5 eat for free. Scoreboards on Coursey Boulevard. Connect on social media. Hey, appreciate all the crew here at Pelican. TV repeats Sunday morning, 9 and 10:30. On behalf of Buddy Sanjay, I'm Tommy Christ, and Tigers win 36-16.
It's time to find out the truth about health insurance.
True or false? I can't get health insurance because I missed the open enrollment period. False.
If you had a life change such as moving, getting married, having a child, or a job loss, you are eligible to buy a new policy.
I don't have a life-changing event, so I can't get health insurance. False.
You can purchase affordable short-term policies even if it's not open enrollment.
I have to spend hours shopping around for an insurance policy that's right for me. False.
Call Healthcare will connect you with licensed agents that do the work for you, comparing hundreds of options, making sure you get a policy that fits all your needs at the best price.
Call now and we'll connect you to a licensed agent that will answer all your questions. The call and the service are free, so what are you waiting for?
Call Healthcare, getting the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Call now. Representatives are standing by to assist you.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.